more than likely have been lied to about hypnosis. Hypnosis is a phenomenal, priceless tool that I seriously wish more people were utilizing, but I understand why they're not. So many people have so many misconceptions about what hypnosis is. They don't really understand it, and or they have just heard so many myths. And so today I am going to reveal the truth on hypnosis and reveal 5 common myths that people think about hypnosis and reveal the truth on it. If you're excited for this video, let me know in the comments and let's get down to it, B-Livers. Okay, so starting with number one is something that I always mention all the time in most of my videos. So if you've been following for a while, you probably already know this, but number one is that you are in a trance-like state. That is a huge myth. There are several times throughout the day that you are under hypnosis and don't even realize it. And the reason why I bring this up is because obviously when you're in hypnosis, you're very suggestible. And so if you feel like, oh, I'm only in hypnosis whenever I'm in a trance-like state, you're really not serving yourself, because there are several times throughout the day you are being very suggestible and taking in statements that therefore shape your whole life experience, because you think that, hey, I'm only under hypnosis whenever I'm in a trance-like state. Truth of the being is you're it seems like a very conscious, awake state, because you still are conscious, which leads me into my point number 2. You're not in a trance-like state, and you are not able to be controlled to do something you don't want to do. A lot of people fear hypnosis because they think that they're going to be made to bark like a dog, or they've seen a lot of stage hypnosises where they're like sleep and they just drop or whatever. You will not be able to do anything you don't want to do. The critical mind is still present. It's just it's not operating at its full capacity, and your consciousness is still there, and you're not like a robot. We're like a robot in a sense where we get programmed, but you're not a robot into where someone can just press your buttons and make you work in a certain way. No, you still have the power to take in a suggestion or dismiss a suggestion. And then they've also done numerous studies as to where they have put people under hypnosis to do something that just completely went against their morals, or something that they wouldn't do. And even though they took the suggestions in, they would still not be able to follow that thing, like get completely naked in public or whatever, because it goes so much against their morals and values. And so you still are you still have your morals and values, you still have your conscious awareness whenever you are under hypnosis. So no, there is nothing to fear. You will never be made to do something you do not want to do. That is not something you have to fear at all, I promise, my friend. Number 3 is that hypnosis is magic. I can see why people would think that, right? Because it seems very magical, it seems very esoteric. There's a lot of laws in the Western world that kind of like make it seem not as credible as it is, but that's really just has to do with big pharma in the industry. Hypnosis is pure science, and they've done multiple studies over the benefits of hypnosis, but since it's something natural, it's not something that there's a huge industry and that you can make like a shit ton of money off of. It's not something that, you know, the agenda is pushing, right? And so hypnosis is not magic, it's mere science. All that has to happen in order to be in a hypnotic state is that your critical mind has to shut down and you start operating in theta frequency brainwaves. I've made a ton of videos over this, and so if you want to know more about this, be sure to check out some of the other videos that I will link at the end of this video. But know that hypnosis is not magic, it's pure science, and it's fundamentally proven to get you the results that you want in a very strategic way, right? And so it's not some hokey pokey thing, it's not dark magic, it's nothing to be afraid of as far as like supernatural goes. It's very scientific, it's been proven time after time, it is not magic. Number 4 is that only certain people can be hypnotized. I don't care, I'm sorry, I don't care if you've already seen a hypnotist or hypnotherapist and you haven't been hypnotized. The reason being why everybody can be hypnotized is because all it takes is a shutting down of the critical mind and operating in theta frequency, which we all have the ability to do. So if you've seen a hypnotherapist and it quote unquote did not work, there's many reasons for that, especially if you didn't stick to the treatment, you only did it like one time. But the main reason being is the reason why someone can't be hypnotized by a specific person is not because the person themselves isn't hypnotizable, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a word, but because they are not allowing themselves to be hypnotized. So people that are more than likely not able to quote unquote be hypnotized by a hypnotherapist, even though they can be, they're just more likely not to be, is because are people that are very analytical. They like to look into things. People like doctors, lawyers, scientists. It's just because it's their brain working. They want to understand how and why all this is working. And so when you are doing that, you're operating from a theta frequency, and you're not just allowing yourself to trust, allow to take in the suggestions, allow your mind to relax and get into those theta frequencies. So that's one part of it. And another huge part of it is trust, right? If you feel like you're going to be able to be made to do something that you don't want to do, or that you aren't, like, you didn't know some of the myths that I said before, that can make you very kind of untrusting towards the person, because you feel like they're going to give you a suggestion to do something you don't want to do, or they maybe not have your best interest at heart, or they don't know you as well, or whatever, right? Or you're one of those people that are like, hypnotize me, go ahead, try it. It's like, okay, like it's a two-person thing. Like, if you're keeping your guard up and you're like, hypnotize me, try it, like, you're not allowing yourself to be hypnotized. So that's not something that the other person did. That's just you keeping your brain frequency in a higher brainwave, so that it can't drop down to that non-critical mind thinking. So everybody has the ability to be hypnotized. It's bullshit if anybody has told you that they can't be hypnotized. They either A, were just not trusting and allowing the process, or B, they were trying to be like one of those people that are like, go ahead, try it, right? So there are reasons as to and ways to kind of shape around this. So if you are someone who is very analytical, that's why as a hypnotherapist, we do a whole session and suggestibility test to make sure like how we need to give you suggestions, how your mind thinks, how we should actually do the hypnosis, so that you can take in those suggestions better. But every single person has the ability to be under hypnosis. So whether you tried it before or not, know this is true. If you tried it and you didn't see the success that you want to, please see my website down below, and we can have a consultation. I'll even walk you through a hypnotic state, so that you know that, hey, I can be hypnotized, and if it is a treatment that you want to proceed with, you know where I am. So that is, I do believe, number 3 or 4. Going into the last one, number 5, and this can honestly probably be the most scariest for people, and I can see why people would not want to practice hypnotherapy even if they knew the benefits of it, and that's why I want to expose the truth on it. It is a myth that you can get stuck in hypnosis and that you are just not going to be able to snap out of it whenever you want to. Like I said, even though your critical mind is pretty much shut down, it's still there. You're still a person. You're still an alive awareness with a consciousness. And so if at any point you feel uncomfortable, or you feel like you want to be done with the session or whatever, you have the ability to count yourself out of hypnosis, to do all different types of things to get yourself out of hypnosis. Like I mentioned earlier, I will link a video above and below called How We Become Hypnotized and How to Snap Out of It, so that you can become more comfortable in practicing hypnotherapy, because you are equipped and aware of how to snap out of it whenever you are under hypnosis. You don't have to fear being stuck in hypnosis. It's not even possible, because like all that would have to take is something that would jeopardize your quote unquote safety, and your critical mind would start operating like crazy. It would snap you out of hypnosis and be like, oh my God, there's a fire. Like, we got to get out of here, you know? So it's nothing to be afraid of. These are the 5 myths that are most common that keep people from the benefits of hypnotherapy. Like I said, I would drop in the description a link to my website to book either a consultation with me to know more about hypnotherapy, or just go ahead and get started, because this is a phenomenal tool. Everything that we do has to either be avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. So we want to make sure that our programming is aligned in a sense where we are linking pleasure to the things that we want, and linking pleasure to the things that linking pain to the things that we don't want, and vice versa. Linking pain to not having it, and linking pain to achieving it if it's something you don't want. So that's it for you guys today. Let me know in the comments like whatever questions you have. Like I said, I'll link the website, videos, all that down below. I love you guys so much, and as always, dream big, live large, and be live. Adios.